welcome. Today I am going to be unboxing most of the curriculum, all that I have received so far. I have some stuff that I'm waiting on having come yet. It's language arts, but I also have a couple things that I need to order still, but those probably also kind of fall under the same umbrella as language arts. So once I order that and I receive everything, I will do just like a video just for language arts. But this is going to be basically everything that we're doing this year, minus the stuff that I already have because of my oldest two going through it. My son, who is going to be a junior this year, he's going to be just reusing some of the stuff we've used in the past. Like I think I mentioned in the last video, he's going to be doing American literature, which my oldest kids did. And I might have him do logic this year as well, because I think that's important to know how to debate, to pick apart arguments, and to have a strong argument on things. So I'll probably have him do that. And obviously teaching textbooks. He's going to be, I think, doing geometry this year, maybe algebra. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's geometry, but he's the one that's probably going to be going into engineering. So I probably will try to have him do calculus his senior year because that's kind of important for engineering. But yeah, so how about I get to it? I will say, so it's not totally a true unboxing. I have my main books. I have not opened this box at all yet. But two of the boxes, I did order experiment kits along with our science this year because it's nice just to have everything instead of having to plan ahead and purchase everything as I remember to, because honestly, life gets so busy, I often forget. The one of them had like one review on it and it was negative, so I'm hoping we have better luck with the science kit. I'm just gonna rip off the band-aid and buy it and hope that my son will have better luck with it than the other people that reviewed it. So hopefully, and usually my husband pointed out before in the past, not for necessarily homeschool reviews, but like product reviews a lot, or like if you're reviewing a company, typically you don't go on like a company's website and leave a positive review. It's usually negative experiences that you want to let people know about. So anyway, I did open the science, like I was saying in my story, I did open the science experiment things. I haven't even really looked at everything because I was on a quest for bubble wrap. I know that sounds silly, but we make soap. I've mentioned that in the past. And I needed bubble wrap because I was making a milk and honey scented bar. It kind of smells like a sugar cookie, if I'm completely honest. And you use bubble wrap to get like that texture on top that makes it look like a honeycomb kind of. But we also have like a honeycomb stamp, but it just doesn't work as well. And it's kind of a pain to do. Bubble wrap just makes it easier. So I was looking for bubble wrap and I was unsuccessful. So I had to use the stamp. It just doesn't look as nice. But yeah, so I'm actually going to be calling, just a little side note, just because I'm trying to open this box and not cut myself because this knife is sharp. I am actually, since it's a milk and honey bar, I decided that, and my husband was cool with it because like it's something we do together. I am going to name that one the Promised Land, just because, you know, land flowing with milk and honey. I thought it would be fun. So anyway, so this is a box that has most of my stuff in it. And honestly, I've had these boxes sitting on my floor for probably 2 months because I was like, maybe I want to wait till I have everything, and also until I feel like I can compose myself, have enough of a break from school to think about school again. But that was actually a bad thing because I don't actually fully remember what I ordered. I sort of do. Well, I remember what I ordered, but the problem is I don't necessarily remember what grade levels I got everything, who I got everything for. So hopefully that'll be fine. But yeah, let's see. So the first thing I'm pulling out of this box that I just opened is America's Story. I'm going, at the end of this video, I think I'll probably turn the camera around so I can show you some of my favorite features of just every Masterbook curriculum. I'm not going to go through every book, but just one thing that makes it so that I really like how it's laid out and formatted. But yeah, so there's the textbook for this. This is going to be for my third, okay, so let's see. It's through 6th grade. So it's going to be my 6th grader, my 5th grader, and then my 2 3rd graders. Yes, I have 2 3rd graders. Their summer birthdays and they're Irish twins. So they're like they just barely make the cutoff for Irish twins because their birthday's like 2 days apart. But yeah, I just decided they're so close, they're buddies, I'm just gonna have them in the same grade. So my 2 3rd graders, my 5th grader and my 6th grader will probably be using this. I think that's what I did anyway. But yeah, we have a textbook that has like lots of pictures and information in it, just super cool. And I think it'll be good because yeah, it's a colorful Charlotte Mason. So if you like Charlotte Mason method for teaching for homeschool, this is Charlotte Mason inspired, and it's Journey Through American History. This is just year 1, which usually when I see a 1 on something, I think 1st grade, but no, not the case for this one, because a lot of their curriculum, like their math, will say like math 2 for 2nd grade or whatever, but not the case with America's Story. And like I said, I will turn the camera around at the end to show a better idea of this. But yeah, like I said, one of my favorite things is this, but I'll talk about that at the end because it's always in there in all their books. But they have like an artist study in here. These are the worksheets, and I will show you this because I like that it has this on here where it says that you can make copies for your personal homeschool. You just can't make it for outside of your own household. So I like that I can make copies because it saves me a ton of money. I have one of those printers where you just fill the ink instead of having to replace the cartridge. Saved a ton of money doing that, and it lasts so much longer. So yeah, and it also has like timeline in here, kind of all over the place right now, I feel like, mind-wise. But yeah, it just like Franklin's bifocals, things like that. So, and they're supposed to sketch it. So I think this will be really fun. I have kids that are very artistic. My 6th grader specifically, I think she will love that there's stuff in here that she gets to try to draw and improve on her drawing skills. And one of my 3rd graders likes to draw as well. And I think my 5th grader kind of likes to draw. She likes to draw her own thing. Usually I don't think she's a huge fan of having to draw things that she's told to draw. So then maybe I have my 6th grader doing this one. I don't know. So for my 8th grade down, I think possibly even my 10th grader, because he struggles with reading a little, if I'm completely honest. I think he probably has a little bit of dyslexia going on. He's doing a lot better. We've used multiple curriculums for him. So he might actually do this with his middle school siblings. So this will probably be for him, and then my 8th grader and my 7th grader. I might possibly have my 6th grader do this one as well. Oh, and my 7th grader, because I do have a 7th grader in there too. So 10, 8, 7, 6, possibly my 6th, because I think she might actually like America's Story better. But we'll see. I might just have her do this one. But yeah, again, you have the teacher's manual, teacher's guide, I should say. And it says a vital resource provides all the assignments for World Story Volume 1 course. And it says it's 30 to 45 minutes, but sometimes we're kind of faster on our things. It all depends on the day. And it says students will learn about ancient history and civilizations, and the course includes 28 chapters and 4 built-in reviews, making it easy to finish in 1 school year. So does that mean it's only 28 weeks? Or is it just 28 lessons? Let me look real quick so that I can give a good answer. Let's see, that's... No, it's a full 36 weeks. So, yeah, full 36 weeks, just 28 chapters. I'm sure there's probably weeks where certain chapters will overlap or whatever. Like you'll start a new chapter midway through the week. But yeah, so in this one, it has a time, like my timeline thing, just like in the other one. I don't, in the America's Story one. And then I'm not sure if there's really a ton of drawing opportunities in here. Okay, this one does look like there is. Like there's a, this one they're supposed to draw ancient Chinese family doing a activity together. So there are opportunities for drawing in this one too. Ooh, what was that? Sorry, I just saw something that looked kind of cool. Making a pyramid. That might be fun as well. So just little like creative, crafty activities at the end of the school year in 2026. I know, going a little too far ahead. I will probably review everything and tell you if we liked using this, because this is my first time using America's Story and World Story, as you can see, because I wouldn't have purchased it otherwise. But if I already owned it. And then this I got, actually, I think I'm having all my kids do science together, except for my 11th grader. But this is God's Design series. I've enjoyed using this series for my youngest two, the 2 that will be in 3rd grade. But this is like up a level because they, you know, did K through 2nd grade with this series, but this is going to be a little more intense because it's, you know, 3rd grade now, and it's also goes to 8th grade, so it can't be too, yeah, you can see that goes 3rd to 8th on there. Sorry, the reflection of the light's kind of making that hard. Yeah, so I will have probably my 10th grader again do this all the way down to 3rd grade. It just makes it easy when we can do certain subjects as a family, as a big group, because it just saves time. And it's also, I feel like sometimes they learn better as a group because they can, you know, discuss it amongst themselves and stuff. So I chose this one specifically because there's multiple books in this series. I chose specifically Heaven and Earth because last year, my 2nd grader, my youngest, he's like, I don't like science. You know why, Mom? There's no space. So I chose this because it's astronomy. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do astronomy. I think the other kids will love that too because they've been learning about other things. I'm trying to think what we did for science. Oh, we did animal science last year for the bigger kids. And then they did, the youngest 2 were doing science that was more on like life science. So plants, people, animals, just all that stuff. So this year we're going to be doing astronomy, which is something totally different than what we've done. So I think they'll like it. This is the textbook. Lots of pictures in there. And it's talking about, you know, discovery of air in here. And then they also have what did we learn and taking it further in there as well. So this is, and it has fun facts too, which is pretty cool. So, and experiments. I will show you the experiment kit after I'm done taking everything out of this box. So, this again, it's going to be like a 36-week thing, and it looks like it's 4 days a week instead of 5. But this is the teacher's manual, again with the schedule, which is something I will show you at the end once I turn the camera around. And then it's weather across the country worksheet, and I think they're probably supposed to write that down for the day, like go to certain cities and see, hey, what's the high, what's the low, and how much does it vary, and then structure of atmosphere, just all these good worksheets that will give them good, solid scientific information. So we'll see how we like that. Then for my 11th grader, for science, we are going to be doing, I mentioned, physics, because he really wants to go to school for engineering. Ever since he was like 2, my mom's like, that kid's gonna be an engineer when he grows up, because he's just always been curious about how things work and taking apart things and fixing things. Like his newest thing, he's trying to figure out how to fix like gaming controllers, because some of them, like the joysticks drift, so he's trying to learn how to fix them. But yeah, he's just always been very curious about those things. So he is doing physics. This is the textbooks. This is recommended from 10th to 12th grade. It is more advanced, so I'm hoping he can handle it. Because yeah, this is like the, forget what it's called. I don't know. But like, it kind of says master class or something like that on the website. Like it's, oh yeah, master class right here. So it's going to be a little more intense than like other science offerings they have. Like what he took last year was a little more simple. So he will have this book. This is the textbook, the first page, physics, wisdom, and science. And then at the end, he'll have plenty of experiments to do as well. I bought a science experiment kit for him as well, so that hopefully we will have all the basic supplies that he will need. And this is the worksheets. Again, it's well, it looks like he has 5 days of science each week, not 4. And it looks like there's a lot of quizzes. But yeah, again, it's 36 weeks, which comes to 180 days. And this is worksheets and also lab reports. So he will have to do lab reports when he does his labs. And they have like a multiple choice thing for lesson 1 and a fill in the blank thing, which can be really helpful for quizzes, I feel like. So, and then for the labs, it tells all the required materials, and then it tells you how to do the experiment, and you can take some notes and all that stuff. So I had my 2 older kids did use some of the masterclass ones before and had to do some labs as well, but I wasn't so good about getting science experiment kits at that point. So yeah. Okay, last thing. I must have gotten this. Oh, yes. This is the history I got, because he already did American history. So I'm like, what is he going to do for history this year? Because he did American history. I'm taking the last thing out of there. Forgot to. Okay. So he did American history last year. He already did world history. I figured, let's figure out something here. He still needs to do history. It's required 1 more year. So I decided to do the history of religious liberty. And this is suggested for grades 10 to 12 as well. And it's from Tyndale to Madison. So it sounded like a good book. So I wanted to try it out because it's a little different. It's about, you know, faith. So then it starts with an introduction, obviously. And then part 1 is about scripture for plowboys, which is the William Tyndale thing, making it so scripture would be available for even the plowboys to read, because back then hardly anyone had Bibles, and it was up to the church to translate it to the people, and they weren't always doing a good job with that. So, and people couldn't read for themselves and grow in their faith that way. So this is the textbook. It's all black and white. Lots of reading, it looks like. Lots and lots of reading. Hopefully he doesn't totally hate me for picking that. I'm just kidding. He won't hate me. He might just get frustrated with how much reading it is, but it'll be good for him, I think. And then this is the worksheet book, is actually pretty thin for this one. So, ooh, one of the pages is bent. Bummer. But yeah, so this looks like it's 5 days a week, like most things, but it's actually 35 weeks instead of 36. So it'll be at least a week shorter. So I think he'll like it, hopefully. Oh, that's why that page is bent. It got kind of printed bigger. It's sticking out. That's weird. I might just trim it down. Anyway, then the last thing that I pulled out of here because I forgot, I didn't see it at the bottom of the box, is it's for the World Story. And it is the timeline. So it comes with all the different pieces we need to make a timeline. And in the back, the last page is actually, whoops, that's not it. It's not thick pieces. I might laminate these, honestly, and use my paper cutter because I bought a paper cutter too, like last year. Why I didn't have one sooner, I don't know. But the last page has all the dates. So we will probably hang this up on the wall in our dining area because that's where we do school because our house is kind of small. But yeah, so this will have all the dates and then we have all our pieces right here that go on it. And I like that they're color copies and that I don't have to print them because my printer, though awesome, I like that it's saving me money to print stuff, and I like that the ink lasts forever doing it this way. Like I've hardly had to refill it since I got it, but I mean I did have to buy refill bottles like one time, but compared to how often I was filling, like replacing cartridges, it has saved me a ton of money. So I highly recommend. Sorry, this is really crinkly. I highly recommend getting one of those if you don't already. It's just an Epson Eco Print, I think, or something like that. But yeah, highly recommend it. Saves a lot of ink. But where I was going with that was that even though it's great, when I do color copies, it'll put lines through it. The color copies just don't turn out super well. So anyway, I'm probably not going to pull everything out of here because it's a mess. I might just like hold it up and tell you what's in here. So here we go. So this is the God's design for Earth, the outer space science stuff. I will just show you. It's a good ooh, I just whacked myself in the face. Save that for a gag reel. Anyway, lots of stuff in here. It's a pretty good size box. It's not super heavy. The books were actually heavier than this box, but it's packed. So I'll just tell you what all is in here so you can get an idea of just how packed this is. So it has 5 tag boards, 8 pieces of 8 construction paper, 1 solar system kit, a paint roller pan, potting soil, sand, rocks and mineral samples, gravel, modeling clay in brown, and modeling clay in multiple colors, a magnifying glass, cotton balls, slinky, food coloring, mirror, balloons, aluminum, I think it says alum, so I'm guessing aluminum, golf ball, hardware, which is a bolt, a nut, a washer, and a BB. I don't know what that is, because I am not handy. Streak plate, index cards, and a miscellaneous kit that has magnet, marble, rubber band, and push pins, candle, craft sticks, flashlight with batteries, a pH testing paper, string, ping pong ball, 1 foot of tubing, prism, reflector, plaster of Paris, Epsom salt, sidewalk chalk, thermometers, sponges, straws, tops, tornado tube, foam balls, ruler, skewer, steel wool, goggles, and tennis ball. So clearly there's a lot of stuff in there so that I would not have picked up, honestly. So I'm glad I bought this because we would not be doing experiments without it. The fact that I have it, we can do experiments all the more easy. So that's all that's in there. And then I bought the physics. This one's kind of a weird shape. It's long, Like, look at this, long and narrow. So there's lots of bubble stuff in here. Oh, I didn't get the tape all the way on this. Usually I can just rip it, but I don't know where my knife is. It's underneath. It's buried by books now. But anyway, so lots of things in here too. Clearly some of them are very long. But yeah, I will find the list, the packaging list. Oh, it doesn't really have it on here. Oh, it does. Never mind. I see packing list. Yay. Okay. So what all is in this box? I will show you just quickly. This is the one that had bad reviews because they said like that the materials were like really cheap. So you're better off buying them on like some other website. But yeah, so I will tell you everything that comes in this science kit because again, having the materials in advance is so much easier than having to buy them separately or remember to buy them like once a month or whatever, because I will forget. So in here, we have a wooden ramp, meter stick metric ruler, 3 12-inch ones, a 6-inch 2x4 piece of wood, a multimeter electric motor assembly kit, immersion thermometer, color paddles, spectroscope tube, a plastic graduated cylinder, digital kitchen scale, which if that scale's not good, I have a good scale already, and then balance scales and springs, and then in a Ziploc bag they have a balloon, 10 rubber bands, 25 metal washers, 2 eye hooks, 2 fishing weights of different masses, 1 100-gram weight, 2 marbles, 2 iron nails, 2 AA batteries, and 4 AAA batteries. And then in the there's, I guess, like a large box in there. There's an iron filings, insulated wire, that's 24 gauge, spool of string, red laser pointer, single beam pen light, pair of bar magnet, 2 AA battery holders, 1 clear protractor, 1 solar cell, 1 volt 500 mA, and then 2 bulb holders, 2 single pulleys, and a circuit knife switches. 1 2x3 flat acrylic motor and another Ziploc bag in there. 1 diffraction grating, that is 500 millimeters, 50 millimeter biconvex lens, and then 150 millimeter fluid by FL, I don't know, biconvex lens, and then a 200 one of that. Oh, well, actually it's convex mirror, and then 150 biconcave lens, and then a 200 concave millimeter mirror, and then there's an equilateral, man, this stuff tripping me up, longer words. There's equilateral prisms, 2 3.7 volt mini light bulbs, and 1 red cellophane, I don't know. Anyway, so this is actually, even though I ordered it through Masterbooks, is Cornerstone Educational Supply puts it together for them. So yeah, I might have to check them out in the future. So yeah, that is it. That is all the books I got. And yeah, I'm just gonna turn it around real quick just to show you why I like this schedule and so much, like how the books are laid out so much. But yeah, I will do that and I will be right back in just a second. Okay, so I'm back. I am just going to use this book to show you why I like Masterbooks, the features that I like about their teacher's guide. All their textbooks are going to be different, obviously, but this one, I like how it has like the little permissions thing, which I showed you earlier on how you can make photocopies if you're just using them in your household. So I like that because once I discovered that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to save me a ton of money. And then it has like things people like about this, like why they give them the reviews. Then you have your table of contents. And then they have the activities warning. The publisher and authors have made every reasonable effort to ensure that the activities recommended in this book are safe when performed as instructed, but assume no responsibility for any damage caused or sustained while conducting the experiments and activities. It is the parents, guardians, and or teachers' responsibility to supervise all recommended activities. Please protect surfaces when using food coloring, paint, and other materials that may stain surfaces. We do school at our kitchen table, and it was a donated table. So it's pretty beat up. We kind of just gave up on trying to keep it look nice. Because, yeah, the finish is even, like, wearing off on it. But anyway, so here's, like, welcome to God's design, why teach earth science. I like this. How do I teach creation versus evolution? How do I teach science? Just, every teacher's guide has, like, just this overview in it, which I really like that it has that. And then the 7 C's. This is an answers in Genesis thing. My church is actually using this for their vacation Bible school, the 7 C's, which is creation, corruption, catastrophe, confusion, Christ, cross, and consummation. So I like that. If you're familiar with the 7 C's, you know what that's more about. But if you don't, if you buy this book, I am not making any money off of plugging this. But if you buy this book, it tells you what each one is, as you can see. So this is the main thing that I really like. It's very organized. There have been a couple times where I noticed like page numbers were wrong or something in previous books, or yeah, just nothing too major, but I like the way this is laid out because I can print this off for each of my kids and put it in their binder, and it will have like the due date. But since we do stuff together, I don't worry about writing a due date in there, but then we can check it off each day when we're done, and then I can grade everything. So the only thing is, like, since we do it together, like, they're usually not doing the worksheets all by themselves. So we do kind of work as a group to complete the worksheets. So they're not necessarily getting totally graded on those. Sometimes we do that. But also the quizzes I do grade. But yeah, it's mostly just like making sure they're completing everything. So yeah, it has it for every week. And it also breaks it down into quarters, which I really like, because here's week 9, and then at the top of the next page, you have first semester, second quarter, and it's week 1 of the second quarter. So I've really enjoyed that. I like that when there's a quiz or exam, it's in bold, so I remember to print that off because it's in a different part in the book. It's not usually right after the assignment for the week. There's actually a separate spot in the back of the book for the quizzes. So here you have the weather and water worksheets. I'm just using this as an example. Most of their books are laid out, the teacher's guides are laid out pretty much always the same. So you're going to have your worksheets here. And then towards the back, let me see if I can find it. Then right here, you're going to have, in the back, you're going to have your astronomy quizzes and final exam. So you'll have all your quizzes back here after all of the worksheets. So this is the last worksheet for the year, I believe. Let me see. Yeah. So, oh, that's a final exam, actually. So the exams, the quizzes, hang on. Hang on a second. So the quizzes are behind. So this is a conclusion, the last thing they have to do for the year, worksheet wise. And then this is the weather and water quizzes, because first half of the year, they're probably going to be learning about weather and water and the final exam for that. And then the second half of the year, they're going to be learning more about astronomy, and they'll have their quizzes and their final exam for that right here. So it's broken down into 2 sections for the year. And then there's the final exam. which is kind of long. And then these are the answer keys for the worksheets afterwards. So I like that they have like all the stuff that needs to be filled out first, and then they have the answer in the very back. So here's the worksheet answer keys, and then after that, so that I can grade it if they're doing them individually at that point. And then we have the quiz answer keys, and they're broken down by quiz 1, and it tells you what it's on. It's lessons 1 through 7, origins of glaciers, and then you have quiz 2, which is on rocks and minerals. So yeah, we have all the answer keys right here, and then at the back you have the final exam answer keys. So there's going to be the final exam. So this is the final exam right here for weeks 1 through 34. And then this is also, I guess, oh, this is the universe one. Lessons 1 through 34. So this will be the first section, and then planet Earth, I guess. Lessons 1 through 34. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure that out when I get to it. Because basically, yeah, it's easier to figure out when I'm in the thick of it and needing to figure out what quiz number they're on. And then they also have, this is appendices for use with God's design, and it has weather and water supply list. Ooh, apparently you need dry ice for something. We might have to skip that one, because I don't really like having dry ice around. But, and I also don't know where to get it. But then they also have like the resource guide and the works cited as they should. And then they have a supply list for the universe section as well. And then they also have the works cited page and the supply list for planet Earth resource guide, and then works cited, and then here you just have like a little ad for other sciences, which I think I've done. I haven't done the life one at this level, but we did do a life one last year for the youngest too, like I mentioned previously. But that is gonna do it for me today. I hope you found this informative and that maybe it'll help you with some of your homeschooling decisions for the year. And I hope that maybe this inspired you to maybe check out Masterbooks or check out some of these books, maybe not all of them from Masterbooks. But yeah, that'll do it for me today, and I hope to see you all next time.